Hey Bill, how are you? Rod right here, along with my cameraman Dan Swice, and we are at the Max. The Max is right across the street from Myers and just north of the McDonald's here, and they got all kinds of sports stuff going on here. You got batting cages, and there's actually supposed to be a boxing arena too. So I don't know what's going on, but let's go check it out. Sounds like fun.
You guys, what we're gonna work our way to do, okay?
Okay, I am here with Peter and Danny Mitchell. What grade are you in?
I'm in 5th.
And you're?
In 7th.
And you guys are brothers and you're here about, how long have you been boxing?
This is actually our first day.
First day, what'd you think?
It was pretty fun. I learned a lot of new stuff.
And how about you?
Yeah, it's a good stress reliever.
Oh, you're pretty stressed out, huh? Well, that's good. What'd you think of Wild? He was a pretty cool guy, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's cool. He seems like he knows a lot, and if anybody's my teacher, I'm glad it's him.
Yeah, I think you guys got a pretty good one. He looks pretty tough, too, isn't he? You better listen to him, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty tough.
All right, there's the Mitchell boys. Hopefully we'll see them in the future. Well, Wiles, tell me a little bit of your story and where you, how it all began with boxing, and kind of give me a chronology of your life.
Yeah, well, it started back in about 1989. Well, if I can go back even further, it all started by me following like Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, and Evel Knievel. I grew up to that. So taking Bruce Lee and seeing boxing and seeing Muhammad Ali and boxing, I just fell in love with the sport. So it's been since about 89. I went to the Kronk Gym in Detroit, where Emmanuel Stewart, famous Emmanuel Stewart, had about 42 champions. Tommy Hearns, Hilmer Kente, Dennis Andres, many more champions that he's had. I started there back in '89. I did kickboxing first. I had a few amateur kickboxing fights. I won a kickboxing title March 23rd of '91. I turned pro boxing in '92, March 3rd, without having any amateur fights, zero, which most guys have a good 40, 50, maybe to 150. I just learned while I was earning, I was learning. I kind of did it the hard way. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably do it the same way again, too, to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to lie here. But, yeah, it's been a while since I've had a gym. My first gym was back in Taylor. That was in, like, 1991. Then in 2001, and now in 2015. Actually, 14, which is 15 now, but it's been a while. But here we are in Oxford. You know?
How many fights have you had in your day, and kind of your record and all that stuff?
Well, honestly, I've gone to the big show like 3 times. When I say that, I've had 3 professional fights. I had 6, 7 amateur kickboxing fights, and I had some professional kickboxing fights. So I got a dozen fights. Not all wins, but ultimately a lot of experience. I used to spar with James Lights Out Tony. For those who might not know James Tony, he beat Evander Holyfield. And as I say, Evander beat Mike Tyson, and I'm just going to say the guys I was with were pretty high caliber. That's all I could say as far as my sparring goes. And then here I'm just pretty much passing along what I've learned. I've wanted to be a world champion, but God had other plans for me. Sometimes we have our plans, he has his plans, and I believe I'm right where I'm supposed to be right now, teaching what I teach to the kids that I teach to, kids, adults, from 5 to 95. There's no age limit here. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to be a certain age to box. You can do it at any age, and it's an awesome workout. You can't ever duplicate a boxer's workout. They're always in pretty decent shape for that matter. But yeah, here I am. Like I said, in Oxford, Michigan. I love it here at the Max Training Centers, and the story's still continuing here as we speak. Best you can, best you can.
Okay, so let's say we got a kid that comes here and he really digs this sport. I mean, what
prospect?
Yeah, like a prospect. What could you do for him?
Well, what I could do is I could guide them to do, as far as the amateur fights. We could show them where to go, how to get there. For the most part, I am a coach here at the gym, but I don't really take teams on like the fights as some clubs do, because we're more of a club that kind of does it within house. We're going to have exhibition matches here with no winner, with no loser. It's just pretty much for kids that would want to try it for the first time without having not too much pressure on doing it right here at their own club. Kind of like tournaments do for karate and stuff like that. Or if you're taking dance for it, you might want a recital. So what we're going to do here is start out with exhibitions. If there's a kid who wants to go further, by all means, it's not what you know, it's who you know. We know some people that might be able to pull a few strings, but we can get you to the dance, but then you're all on your own. If you want to turn pro, you or me can go tomorrow and turn pro, but you'll have to fight a professional fighter. So it's the only sport where you can turn pro. Unlike football, hockey, soccer, baseball, it's a bit different. But the process with boxing, you can go to Lansing, you can turn pro, but you're going to fight a professional fighter, which I wouldn't recommend unless it's what you want.
That might be your last fight.
It may be your last fight. Absolutely, absolutely.
But so you're going to have exhibitions here, so like the kids come here, they can work out for a few months. How often would you have these?
My goal would be maybe every 3 months, 3 to 4 months. This way here, we give a person a good 60 to 90 days to train. And I don't want to just throw anybody that's never done it into a ring. And what we do, we'll make sure we're matched up equally. So I make sure that the 2 guys I got for a match would be equals. And if they're not equal, it wouldn't be a good match. And a good sparring partner is awesome to have. This will give a kid a chance to see what it's like to go to that next level. And then if they do good at that next level, we go to different gyms. And different gyms do the same thing I kind of do. Then we go to the USBA fights. And, of course, it takes hard work and dedication for the ones that want to go that far with the sport. But it's a rare few that ever truly do, to be honest with you. But if they want to, we could guide them to the right people.
I would like to be here for that exhibition here. Can you call me?
Absolutely. It'll be a fun time, too. We'll probably have a good 100, 200 people in here. And it'll be a really neat little show where you can see what we do as far as the complete boxing. Because once you learn how to do it, the next thing you want to do, I have kids asking me, when can we spar or do some kind of fight? And I always say, I don't use the word fighting because it's just an exhibition. It's sparring. The word fighting is kind of scary. Why scare a kid? It's not a fight. It's an exhibition match. You're boxing. And sometimes I got to remind myself, it's just a boxing match, not a fight, although it is a fight. I don't know if that made any sense. But
So would they put stands around this? Or would you move this around a little bit?
We just get we get chairs, set up a bunch of chairs here, chairs back over here. You'd be surprised how many people can stand up in a place like this, too. So it might be one of those deals where you got 100 chairs and you got 50 to 100 people just standing around kind of thing, too. Because when it's a fight or a boxing match, you tend to want to get closer to it. And being ringside, everybody's ringside here at the MAC. So
yeah. I would love to see. I would like to see the local kids spar. That would be really interesting.
And if all goes well, according to my doctor, I'm going against what he tells me, but I think I'd be in the exhibition myself too. I want to do a little something to kind of show the kids here, the parents here, and then the people that come here that I got a little bit left in me too, and I want to go.
Oh, you still got it in you, don't you? You still got it. There we go.
I got a few fights left, that's for sure. But I really enjoy what I do. I have a lot of fun. When you do what you love what you do, it's not even a job anymore,
Well, like you, I grew up with Muhammad Ali.
Right.
I grew up, and then, the Tysons and the Holyfields and all that. And that was great, Tommy Hearns. But what's going on now? I mean, you just don't hear as much anymore. What's going on with the sport?
Well, it's like this. Back then, we knew who the heavyweight champion was. Back then, you knew who Ali was. You knew who Tommy Hearns was. See, the thing is, you had only 8 divisions. Now you have about, I think it's 14 or more divisions where you got more pay-per-views now, where before it'd be on NBC Sports. You get to know these names as a household name, but not everyone's going to spend $70 to watch a pay-per-view fight. That's the problem with it. I believe if they would put it back on regular TV, it would be so much better than it is today. And it's kind of fading away a little bit due to some bad decisions. And then you need that name. It takes a Muhammad Ali. You can take one fighter sometimes, an Ali, a Ray Leonard, a Marvin Marvis Hagler, a Sugar Ray Leonard. It takes one fighter. But, I think right now we're just kind of lacking that. We got Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. That's what we need right there as a big back-to-boxing fight. But other than that, fights aren't what they used to be. Because you got to have you need to have that opponent the way Ali had Frazier. the way George Foreman had Ali. You need that. Hearns and Hagler.
Okay, well, here we go. That brings me into another question. What's the best fight you've ever seen?
The best fight I've ever seen.
Gorilla in Manila?
You know what? I have to go with that. That was probably one of the best fights I've seen because these guys both came so close to dying, man. So that fight right there was just absolutely awesome. Another great fight was only 3 rounds was Hagler and Hearns. That's probably the best 3 rounds in boxing history. And that's going out there to say that, but awesome, man.
That was in the early 80s. I remember that one.
Yes, at Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace.
I remember Jerry Cooney, the bleeder. Remember that guy?
Yeah, the Great White Hope, man.
Yeah, he wasn't so vocal, was he?
Well, I tell you what, though, man, you got to take his hat. I take my hat off to him because, man, he went there, man. He got there. He got to go the distance kind of thing where, like the Rocky story, that's once again, man, to be able to do something like that and go all the way with it, I take my hat off to you, man. So.
All right, here we go. Your top 5 boxers all time.
Well, Ali, Joe Louis, Salvador Sanchez, which you might not heard of him. He died at 21. Awesome Mexican fighter. Henry Armstrong and Roy Jones Jr. I got to throw Roy Jones Jr. in there. One of my favorites of all times. Absolutely.
Those are some big names right there, eh?
There's some names out there too, but I might not have recalled them. But
well, I'm glad you just didn't do the big standbys. Well, very good.
Right.
I heard that George Foreman had the hardest hit ever. That's what Ali said. I think Ali said that.
I'll tell you what. Most people don't know this. When you ask them who's the single heavy punch, who's got the heaviest punch in boxing history, it doesn't go to George Foreman or Ali or Tyson. It goes to Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers, man. Look him up. That guy can hit you with 1 punch, and you were out. Didn't take combination. 1 single punch. And, man, you got to go with that. And I believe if you look that question up, the right answer is Ernie Shavers. Trust me. Yeah.
I thought it was Foreman.
I did my homework, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Ali put the most punches on, though.
Oh, man. Well, with Ali, he played it smart. When you're out of gas, man, if you're a Lamborghini without a gas, you ain't going nowhere, man. So he burnt him out. He had to rope a dope. He did what he did. He took a lot, but he had a plan, man. He had a plan.
I could talk boxing with you all night. You know that?
Man, me too. Me too.
Well, there you have it. That's the Bullz Boxing Club here at the Max. We're right across the street from the Myers, just north of the McDonald's. Hey, thank you very much. I had a great time. I know a lot more now. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys very much.
And if you can't come there, you can give their number there. And
BullzBoxingClub.com. It's so easy to get to.
There you go. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's about it, Dan. I'll tell you, he makes it look easy, but this stuff is pretty hard here.
Well, here's my buddy Gavin. You come up here quite a bit?
Yep.
This is a pretty cool place, the Max, isn't it? Well, we had a lot of fun up here at the Max. I guess you can come and you can rent it for birthday parties and all kinds of stuff like that. And there's all kinds of stuff. They constantly change it. They can do volleyball and lacrosse, they were saying. So the Max is whatever you want to make of it. It's a great thing for the community, and we really enjoyed ourselves here. Come on down to the Max. Back to you, Bill.